Ladies and gentlemen, I am your captain, guide, and friend, Dalton Rutlinger, welcoming you back to Sailwind. In the previous video, we took a look at exploring the All region for the first time. And in this tutorial video, we're going to go through and take a look at Aestrin. Aestrin is considered the hard start of the game, but it's really not. And I'll show you why. It's actually my favorite start, so let's just go ahead and dive right on in. Aestrin can be challenging, especially with the boat that you start off with, but there are ways to make this area a lot easier to manage. So first things first, same as Aestrin, same as the Emerald Archipelago, there's a notice that pops up saying, hey, the game's in early access, you're going to experience bugs, yada yada yada. If you need to, you can contact the developer, and there's also a Discord page you can join if you want. Alright, so, right off the bat, unlike in All and in the Emerald Archipelago, you don't start off with any kind of food, with the exception of a single cheese wedge. So food is going to be something that you have to buy. And once again, I'm going to assume that you're brand new to the game. So, if you're brand new, give this a read through. Give it a very good read through, and make sure that you hold on to it, because it has a lot of valuable information on it, and it'll help you out with a lot of different stuff. I, however, have played this game long enough that I kind of know what I'm doing. You can also sell the map. If you don't want to, that's fine. But you can get a different map completely for free, which I'll show you how to do here in a split second. So I'm going to put that away. And I'm also going to take the table. Now, to open up your inventory, press the tab button. And if you want to put something inside your inventory, first pick it up, press the tab button, and click on the circle. You can also bring something out of your inventory by basically doing the reverse, or doing the same thing. Okay, so let's also go ahead and sell the table. To sell something, just go up to any of the vendors, doesn't matter what they're selling, and just sell them whatever you want to sell. And unlike in the All region, the money that we have here is actually kind of between the All Lions and the Emerald Dragons. The All Lions are the least inflated value of the game. The Emerald Dragons are the most inflated value of the game, with the Aestrin Crowns being somewhere in the middle. Gold Lions, don't worry about Gold Lions for a while. Gold Lions are how you buy capital ships whenever you feel like you're finally ready to upgrade. Okay, so let's take another look at our gear. If you want to, you can sell the lantern. However, I am not going to do that because you guys are going to need to see what happens at night. The most important thing that you're going to want to keep is going to be the compass. Do not lose the compass. It is going to be your most valuable navigation kit for quite a while to come. Okay, so now that we've got everything sold off and we've got a bit more money, let's go ahead and potentially buy some food and maybe even some other stuff. Same thing with the All video. I'm going to come over here and buy a fishing pole. You can also buy a quadrant from here if you want, but you're not ready for that yet. And yeah. How much money do I have left over? I have 238. I'm going to be doing things a bit differently in this video than you probably should on your first voyage. Reason being is because once I'm done with this video, this save game will basically just be erased, and I'll start a new game on the Emerald Archipelago. So I'll be doing things a bit differently than you probably should. But play the game however you want, but be aware that every choice that you make will also have a consequence. Okay, and I'm going to wait for this AI boat to come in, because the hardest thing about this region is you start off with the wind blowing directly from your bow on the ship. And we start off with a square sail, and a jib sail. Um, the jibs are useful for sailing upwind, but they're not as useful as, say, a lateen sail or a uh, a gaff sail, or even a junk sail. But they do help. I will show you probably the better sail configuration for the ship once we finally make some extra money and we can make our way to Fort Aestrin. Okay, so while I'm waiting for this guy to do his thing, we can buy perhaps some other food. Is there anything else that I can potentially sell? You know what? I will go ahead and sell the lantern. I'll just have to kind of leave night sailing kind of out of the video, or try and brighten up the video or something. Because you want to have a certain supply of food whenever you go out on the ocean. You want to have something as a backup in case you run out of fish or something. But you do start off with a free barrel of water, so don't worry too much about water. I'm going to put that there. I'm going to put you here. I'm going to bring you... Actually, I think you're fine there. I like to have everything organized as neatly as I possibly can. Alright, I'm going to wait for him to finish doing his thing, and while we wait, I might as well go ahead and get a couple of missions. I'm going to go ahead and put this on the boat as well. I'll put this up top. Now, if you see his sail configuration, that's actually probably a pretty decent sail configuration that you want to aim for this particular area, is a jib sail and a gaff sail. The gaff sail will be unbelievably useful in this region. I tell you what, actually, I think I'll buy a couple of extra bottles of water, and I'll buy some extra cheese as well. Wait, hang on. Okay, no, the cheese is... You buy it for 10, then you can sell it for 6. I thought I was buying for 5 and then selling for 6. It's like, what? Alright, that'll be fine. Okay, he's finally gone. So let's go ahead and get a couple of missions. Let's get a job sailing for Eastwind. Eastwind will be very useful to start off with because, number one, it's probably the hardest island to find, and I can show it off right off the bat, and I can show sailing into the wind pretty much right off the bat. So, let's go ahead and pick up our seafood. You can only take 2 missions right off the bat, and don't worry about trading yet. You have to have a certain amount of reputation. I think you have to have 300 reputation before you can start actually selling stuff, which would be pretty easy in this region because the islands are not far apart from one another, but they're not close either. Okay, so let's get out of the wind here. To do this, one thing you can do is you can click on the ropes, left click on the ropes to pick them up, and then drag this one up here to the next anchor point. Wait until the anchor point is highlighted, click on it, and then you can right click on the rope, and then by default by mouse wheel, you can scroll to bring your ship closer. Alternatively, you can set up a hotkey, like I have, on my brackets, and use that to bring the ship closer. I'm going to try and angle the ship out a bit. Try and give it some extra momentum. Okay, that might be pretty decent. It's not going to be great, but I think we can at least use it to get out of port here. One thing you'll note about this ship is it's actually pretty slow in the very beginning. Let's try and angle this thing out. Okay, I'm experiencing something I don't want to experience right here, which is the ship going in reverse. Okay, here we go. We should start catching some wind now. So with a jib sail like this, you're not going to be able to sail against the wind quite as tight as you could with the lateen sail. At about this angle would probably be pretty good for you to just kind of start off with. And don't worry about using the square sail until you actually get the wind directly behind you, which in this region might be a bit more difficult because the winds here actually change quite a bit. Alright, so let's talk about why I sold the map. If you press tab button and click on your log, so long as you have a mission, you can actually click on the mission and it'll bring up a free map that you can use. Now, on the map, Aestrin looks to be northwest of Siren Song. In reality, it's a bit different. It's more straight to the west than anything else, which... Okay, we should have a good enough wind to get us there. I'm going to wait until we get a bit further out to sea before I make this turn, though, so we don't get pushed into the rock. Okay, I think that's going to be good enough. Now, note that your boat on this starting area does not turn nearly as sharp as the Dow does in all lonk. The ship takes a while to actually turn. It doesn't turn on a dime like the Dow. The wind is actually... I guess it is blowing more or less directly from the west. That's kind of annoying. Alright, well, I guess I'll just have to show this off then, because you're going to have to learn this sooner or later anyway. For this ship, cutting across the wind is actually going to be very difficult, like constantly zigzagging, like sailing at a ways this way, then turning that way. It's really not possible. It is possible, but it's more difficult with this current sail configuration that we've got right now. What we want to do is we want to try and save up enough money to actually be able to afford to upgrade the ship a little bit whenever we get to Fort Aestrin. Every port, or every capital city, has a dockyard where you can actually upgrade your ship if you want. You can clean it off, you can... on some ships you can put more masts, and you can put different types of sails. Um, Aestrin also has lateen sails, but they're not as good as the ones that you get in Alonk or Gold Rock City. And so we're going to be sailing for a while because the wind is blowing pretty much directly from the direction that we need to go in. And the jib is not particularly fast. Okay, yeah, and it is completely tight. So this will take a while, but we will get there eventually. That is going to be like the main thing that you need to focus on with this particular ship in particular, because this particular ship in particular. Yeah, okay. English. I'm not having a good time today, apparently. Um, this ship is slow. With this current sail configuration that we've got, it's not going to go anywhere fast. Unless you've got the wind directly behind you. You're going to be basically crawling along at a snail's pace, more or less. So face that way. Yeah, pretty much more or less I need to be sailing in the direct direction that the wind is blowing. Go figure. Now the square sail can be turned, like you can rotate these and kind of angle out the square sail a little bit, but with the direction the wind's blowing right now, it's not going to be doing any good. You need the wind to be blowing either at a direct 90 degrees or from somewhere behind for the square sail to be of any use. But be very careful with having the wind at a direct 90 degrees with a square sail, because the wind will push the ship over. One way you can avoid that is by raising the sail just a little bit so it's not catching so much wind, and you can still get some sort of propulsion from it. So Eastwind is... I have a reputation with this island, or a history with this island, because this island is one of the only islands that I really struggle to find in this game. Because unlike everything else, like I can pretty much tell you what every island is right off the bat in this region, because all the islands really stick out. So over there is Fort Aestrin. That's Siren Song. That right there with the most mountains is going to be Sunspire. Then that right there on the far left of the screen is going to be Mount Malefic. And then that right there is going to be, pretty sure that's going to be the AI boat that we saw at the dock. Alright, so the sun is going down. Let's go ahead and eat some of our food. And I'll also take a couple drinks of water. And hopefully whenever we wake up, the wind will have either shifted or will be close enough to east wind that we can start making some preparations, or we can start kind of angling into it. So to go to sleep, you just simply click or press F on your free bed in the boat, and your character will go to sleep. Now, you can't wake up of your own free will. You have to wait for your character to wake up. And your character will wake up whenever he's experiencing like a wind change, or maybe you bumped into something, etc., etc., etc. Maybe you sailed into a storm. There's numerous things that'll wake your character up, or maybe he'll even like fill up his rest bar. So whenever your character wakes up, just simply press the F key, and you can get up and take a little look-see around. I see something out there, but I don't know... What is that? Like on the right side of the screen, there's a light, like just right above the water. I'm not sure what that is. I'm trying to scan the horizon for any sign of land. You can kind of see the outline of it in the distance. Ah, okay, I see it. There's a little lump right there on the left side of the screen that's kind of rising out of the water. It's like right there. Yeah, so our destination is in sight now. Alright, I'm going to go back to sleep. And I'll see you guys in the morning. Okay, our character is fully rested now, and we can see the lights of port. But would you believe the wind is blowing pretty much directly from where we need to go? However, we can finally use the square sail to a certain amount. So it'll kind of help speed us up a little bit. Go ahead and angle that out. And then let that fly out a little bit as well. What I'm going to do is I'm going to sail out past the island. And then I'll turn around and sail in from the other direction. Alright, so you guys probably can't see anything. But the island is right there. I'll see you guys whenever the sun starts coming out. Which it might actually be about to do, because I think it's getting brighter. Yep, sun is slowly coming up. I think you guys can finally see the island now. So yeah, the Eastwind is pretty much dead west of Siren Song. It might be a bit to the north, but it's pretty much just straight dead west. The map will mislead you on this, because, you know, on the map it shows it's supposed to be northeast, or northwest, excuse me. But in reality, you just want to sail like more, come around this rock here and just sail basically like this. So the maneuver that we're doing right now is called tacking, sailing out past a certain destination, and then getting to a point where you can use the wind to more comfortably sail into wherever you want to go. Excuse me for a second. Sorry about that, I had to sneeze. I literally just woke up, like not even an hour ago, so I'm still kind of groggy. And I forgot to take my allergy medicine. I should probably do that, actually. Alright, allergy medicine has been taken. So hopefully now my allergies will kind of sort themselves out. Okay, looks like we might be in for a storm. Yeah, it's starting to rain. Okay, I don't want to do this. Far enough away from the island now, I can start making this turn. So what I'm going to go ahead and do... I'm going to let this fly completely. Oh, look, rainbow. Very pretty. Very, very, very pretty indeed. The nice thing about square sails is, for the most part, you kind of just let them do their own thing. You can just release them and it'll kind of do whatever they need to do by themselves. Okay, is this still going to catch any wind, or... If it is, it's not going to be much. I do need to tighten this, though. Yeah, I don't think the square sail's doing us any good, so let's go ahead and just raise it back up. We got some use out of it, at least. We're just going to be relying on the jib sail for now. Storms in this region are supposed to be uncommon, but they're actually not super uncommon. They're not as common as you're going to get in the Emerald Archipelago, but they are still very prevalent. Thankfully, they're not quite as violent as the ones in Alonk. So, the plan for this video is I'm going to run a circuit with you guys. Every island, bar one, Oracle Isle, has a town on it, so the more distance that you're traveling for a mission, the better pay that you get. So from Eastwind to Mount Malefic is usually going to pay you the most. But you can also run a circuit going from Eastwind, Siren Song, Fort Aestrin, Sunspire, and Mount Malefic if you want. Am I going to be able to make it into dock here? Because the wind seems to be, like, once again, blowing directly from where I need to be going. And this is completely tight. I mean, it's not blowing directly in my face, but it is going to cause problems. This is why we need to get a gaff sail, like, sooner rather than later. A gaff sail would pretty much solve this problem. Why are you doing this now? Fine. Okay, so we're going to be playing this game, are we? Fine, I'll play this game. Don't be thinking that I won't. Oh, yeah, there's a storm forming. So we're in for some pretty rough seas. By the way, for anybody who's new, I cover this game quite frequently. If you're just stumbling upon this video for the very first time, and you haven't seen anything else, I cover this game very frequently, and I'm about to start doing a mail courier service, semi-role-playing playthrough. I've already started writing down the rules for it that I'll have to follow, because it's not going to be about making money. It's going to be more about just some guy trying to live his own life. Trying to provide for his family, and etc., etc., etc. This game is going to be amazing whenever it finally comes out in VR. I'm going to be looking into buying a Quest 3 for myself for Christmas. I've already put back quite a bit of money. I'd like to get one of those treadmills that people use for whenever they're, using VR headsets, so that I can actually run around and kind of use that as like my home gym. Because I had a Oculus Rift S, I believe is what it was, and it broke. Alright, hopefully we can get into port before this storm gets too close. Hopefully I can make this turn. Hopefully. There we go. That storm is definitely coming towards us. Fortunately, whenever you get close by to an island, the waters kind of calm down a bit. That's not exactly how it is in real life, but in this game, that's kind of not far from the truth. Typically, whenever you get close to an island, you're relatively safe from a storm. But if you're out there in the open waters, things can get kind of dicey. I'm having trouble trying to see where the heck I'm trying to go here. Oh, there's lightning strikes. Lovely. I don't think I want to sail down there. I think the town is a bit further up here. At least here I've got some shelter. No, that's not where I wanted to go. Good. I think the town is around this corner here. So I've got 2 empty bottles. Whenever you're first starting out, don't sell your empty bottles, because you can actually sell them back. Or don't throw away your empty bottles, I mean. Don't toss away your empty bottles because you can sell them. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, there's the town right there. Ooh! The wind is a-blowing. Put you there, and then put you there. Okay. Let's get the mail out of the rain first, shall we? There we go. And then the seafood. Alright, so those 2 missions brought our reputation up to 70. It's going to take a while for us to get up to 300 at this rate. So, let's see here. We can take some copper to Siren Song. Copper is extremely heavy, but not as heavy as iron. This town, by the way, is a mining town. Which means you can pick up things like copper, gems, iron, all of which sell really, really well at capital cities, especially for international trade, but it costs a lot, and it's also extremely heavy. So if you want to take iron, on this boat, I recommend no more than 2 crates of iron. Unless you get rid of the roof, in which case you could probably take 3. Do I want to run a circuit, or do I want to just kind of get the... I mean, technically we've already been to Siren Song, so we could just head straight to Fort Aestrin. That might be what I... well... Honestly, that pays the most by a long shot. But I still won't be able to afford getting a gap sale. So maybe what I'll do instead... Okay, that only pays 34 though. That's really going to be pushing it, though. That's really going to be pushing it. Okay, we'll take the tools to Siren Song because it pays the most. And then we'll also take... not the nails, definitely not the nails. We'll take the mail. Okay. So we can put you up here. And then we can put you over here. And then you back here. Every item in the game has a weight, and your boats can hold a certain amount of weight. Some can hold more than others. The Dhow, I believe, is the strongest in terms of the starter ships. This one is not terrible, but it's very easy to overload this thing. Alright, let's put the mail, like, underneath the roof. That makes sense, right? Right, I'm, once again, just going to assume that you're a new player. There's taverns in the game now. You can get some food and drink whenever you come to a place at night. It used to not be that way, but you could also sleep for a fee. In this case, it's 37 crowns, which is pretty expensive. But eventually, money will just become completely irrelevant to you, and sleeping at an inn also cures your sickness if you get sick. Alright, so back to Siren Song we go. Well, this thing is actually going kind of nippy now, isn't it? Right, you know what? I think the wind is actually blowing at a decent angle for us to use the square sail. I might pull it back just a hair. There we go. I'll go ahead and release this a little bit too. You don't want your sails to catch too much wind because they can tip the ship over. The storm isn't moving very fast, is it? The last cheese. Alright, so while we're on our way to Siren Song, let's talk about fishing. This is how I recommend that you get most of your food whenever you're first starting out. Leave your actual food supplies for emergencies. Don't dig into your food supplies unless you absolutely need to. Instead, what you should probably be doing is just fishing. You can catch fish and eat it raw, so basically sushi, but it's not going to restore a huge amount of hunger. You can get around that by buying a stove or a smoker. But smokers and stoves are not cheap, and it'll take some time to actually afford one. Alright, so we caught a fish. Use the mouse wheel to scroll in, but be very careful. If you go too fast, your fishing pole will start to shake, and that's kind of your indication that you need to ease up on the reeling. As you can see, I'm coming in very, very slow. Went a bit fast there. Once the fish is out of the water, you're fine. You can reel in as fast as you want. And even though I was super careful on that, he still ate my fishing hook. That's fine. We bought some others. So let's go ahead and open that. Grab the fishing hook, press F on the fishing pole, and you attach another fishing hook. You can see the wind is really trying to push us downwind here. I think that AI boat is going back into Siren Song, but by the time that we get there, he should be gone. Hopefully. Unless that's... No, that's definitely an AI boat. The AI boats go on rails, just so you know. They don't have any real intelligence to them. They do one thing and one thing only. which is basically just follow the tracks, and you can't move them. They are solid objects. I think I can probably reel this in and maybe have it take on wind more like that. Yeah. And by the way, there is no like time progression or anything like that. You can't like fast travel, you can't speed up time or anything. The only way you can really make the journey go by faster is just by sleeping. But you take a risk of either overshooting or running into the island whenever it's this close. Let's release that a bit more. Maybe not quite that much. There we go. That's a bit better. Alright, so there's no real rush to deliver these. We are well ahead of schedule on this. We had the wind at our back for pretty much most of this journey, actually, which is a nice change. Okay, you see where this? You see how the sail's doing that? That's because of wind shadow. The square sail is taking up too much of the jib sail's wind that it's not really catching anything. It'll still catch a little bit here and there, but for the most part, it's not really catching hardly anything. I wonder if... Hang on a second, let me experiment with this. There we go, now I can catch some wind. How much are these missions bringing in, by the way? 73, 34. So basically a little bit more than 100, which means that we should be at... Honestly, we'll be around 200, which isn't terrible. Nighttime is descending upon us once again. Character's getting very tired. But yeah, it looks like the storm either we've completely left it behind or it dissipated already, but it's still raining. It's been raining pretty much all day. I don't like it. Eventually, I think there is supposed to be an update where you can actually set your water barrels outside into the rain, and they will actually refill. I believe there's also a mod that does that. This game is moddable. You can get mods from the Discord. And I think for the mail courier, I'm actually going to use quite a few mods to make life a bit easier on myself. As the mail courier is already going to be like super challenging as it is by default, but I'm going to add some quality of life improvements for that particular playthrough. Oh, hello. There's an AI boat right there. Oh my. Start raising this up. Raise it 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 up. I don't know where he thinks he's going. Where are you going, dude? There's a wall right there. If you see his setup, yeah, that's kind of what you want in this region. I'm guessing he fell asleep at the helm, and he's just going to run, like, straight into it. Well, there's a shipwreck. Okay, let's bring the sail in just a little bit. I don't want to go too fast here. By the way, if you're new, there is no actual damage to your ship, at least not as the recording of this video. Eventually, there probably will be. But for right now, if you don't want to take things slow, there's nothing to stop you from just, just bawhawing straight into the dock if you want. Can I make this jump? One way to find out. I did not make it, but I did get the the rope secured. Alright, let's tie this one over here. And boom. Alright, character is starting to get very, very, very tired. We'll start making our deliveries, and then we can sleep. And I tell you what, let's just do this. Let's take the mail in first, because it makes the most sense, especially in the rain. That's the wrong building. There we go, and voila. How much does it cost to sleep here? 37. Okay, so it's still pretty expensive. Alright, let's go to bed. This AI ship is having issues. Now I want to show this off because you sleep a lot faster whenever you've either dropped your anchor or you're moored up to a dock. And a lot of the time, you can actually just skip straight through the night. In this case, I can't because my character is getting thirsty. The AI boat is still right there, too. Alright, let's get up for a midnight snack. There you go, good sir. You can have that back. I mean, really, I could just, stand here and just hold my mouth open. That should solve my thirst problem, no problem. Alright, it is now dawn of the following day. This AI boat is still having some serious issues. Do you mind? Okay, while I'm here, let's talk about the quadrant for a second. If you want to start heading out to sea, the quadrant is going to be the most important tool that you can get. Number one is the cheapest tool. And the way this works is by pointing it at the North Star. I'll just go ahead and buy this so I can show you, rather than, explain it to you. If you're like me, you're more of a visual learner anyway, so... Okay, let's buy some cheese. Now let's get some bread, too. And, ooh. Maybe we should just take the day off, considering there's a storm right there. I'm also going to go ahead and sell all of this stuff. There's a lot of things you can do at port now, and I'm really looking forward to this for the mail courier series, whenever I can start, really prepping for long trips and stuff, because the rules that I've got set up are going to make it really challenging, which is going to be extremely fun. Okay. Well, let's come over here to the market and see if we can find anything that might be worth buying. Could buy some wine, but nah. Black tobacco. Pretty expensive, all things considered. Could buy a pipe. Aestrin, okay, it's just wine. It's not coconut wine. It's just regular old wine. Okay. Wait. Raw pork? That doesn't look raw to me. That looks pretty well cooked. Oh, God, yeah. You know, I've looked back here before, but I don't remember if there is anything back here or not. Is there anything of interest back here? We're kind of just taking shelter from a storm right now, so this looks like it might be something in the future. Very interesting. Actually, you know, I think he's planning to make it to where you can buy houses in the game. This might be the house that you can buy here at Mermaid, at Siren Song. I could buy a lantern, but that's going to be pretty much all of my money just gone. Mug. Well, you know what? Let's just have a nice cozy seat here in the tavern and wait out the storm. In fact, you know what? I'll have some conversation. I'll buy you a drink. Not too long ago, a boat departed for Fort Aestrin carrying some tools. You don't say. That sounds very interesting. How about another drink, friend? I saw a boat leaving port recently. I think it was heading for Fort Aestrin carrying a sizable load of pork. Interesting. I would buy another drink, but I'm trying to save, you know. I'm trying to buy my own boat. That out there is just a company boat. You know, I can buy my own boat, become my own boss, and, you know, yada, yada, yada. But, that's a company boat, so I'm trying to save up, you know. I gotta get those gold lions. Yeah, the storm is passing by. It is not very friendly out there right now, though. That stupid AI boat, go away. That's my parking spot. I paid for it. There's a parking spot right over here. So shoo. Oh, and if you're curious, our reputation rose up to 210, finishing those 2 missions. Well, the weather has cleared up, finally. Unfortunately, it's almost nighttime now. Yeah. I'm going to buy some more food. And also buy some bread. And some more bread. Now, that's pretty much most of my money gone. So let's go ahead and... I suppose I'll move out of this boat's way, because it's been here all day. I better not say I never did anything nice for him. Okay. Also make loading easier anyway. See, all you had to do was just come over here, but no, you had to be picky and go to your favorite parking spot. Stupid boat. Stupid captain. I should take your license away from you. Except I can't, because I'm not Harbor Patrol. Okay, so I can't do the trading mission yet. Mail to... That pays the most, all honesty. Well, I might not be able to afford it, but what I can do is I can show you the sail configuration that I'd go for. And you can save up for it and put it on your own ship. That'll work. Doing 3 days, that's way more than enough time. I guess I should have waited until dawn, in all honesty, but nah. Excuse you, you're supposed to be staying right there. There you go. Alright, now we can put the mail underneath the roof, where it logically should be. And I'll just put the mail... I'll just put it right there. Alright, and we can finally cast sail. Sailor's not supposed to be on land, sailor's supposed to be... Don't you think I forgot about what happened at Aestrin, buddy? Or not Aestrin, Eastwind. I remember what happened at Eastwind. But don't you be thinking that I don't remember. Because I do. That might have been a different universe, but I still remember. Anyway. Are you... Okay, yeah, here we go. I think we can catch some wind with the square sail. There we go. Okay, so now that I've got the quadrant, I'll wait until I can get away from these rocks, and then I'll show you how to use the quadrant, assuming we can actually use it. There's a lot of clouds in the sky, so we might not be able to use it tonight, but hopefully I can show you. Just make sure that we're not heading for anything stupid like this rock over here. And also keep a close eye on him. I don't know what he's thinking, but he's thinking something. I think this square sail is not going to do us any more good. What are you doing? I told you he was going to do something. Stupid AI. Alright, where is Fort Aestrin? It's out there in the haze somewhere. Turn to about there-ish. I don't see it right now, but aha, here we go. I can actually show you the North Star now. So with a quadrant, you want to look for this formation right here. These four stars. You got boom, 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 boom. That star right there is the North Star, but be aware that this star, and that star will rotate around it at a counterclockwise rotation. But the North Star will remain permanent. So what you want to do is you want to aim the reticle straight at the North Star, and it will show you your latitude. In this case, it's showing 40, which is more or less right. That might actually be 41. Yeah, either way, it's pretty close. Yeah, I believe that's 41, which is pretty much right. Okay, I kind of wish I had his sail configuration, I'm not going to lie. I'm just going to put this here. I don't really need it for this video, but I wanted to show it off regardless. So if you want to just like dive straight into sailing out into the open ocean, well, number one, you have to get a certain amount of reputation before you can start getting those kinds of missions, but at 300, you should be able to unlock the trade book, which means you can start trading and making the big bucks like really quickly. Okay, where are we heading right now? There's Fort Aestrin. Okay. I think that's Fort Aestrin. I don't see any other islands sticking out of the water, though. Just scanning the horizon. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's got to be Fort Aestrin. I don't know what else it would be. Because I say I don't know what else it would be. Oh, there's Sunspire. It's over there. Okay, I see it now. Alright, let's eat some of our bread. And I think I'll go ahead and go to sleep, actually. Try and skip to the night as quick as possible. Another beautiful sunrise. That's one thing this game does fantastic, by the way. It's just absolute beautiful sunrises and sunsets. So we are approaching Fort Aestrin. You can see the brig right over there. The brig being the biggest ship you can buy in the game. And also the most expensive. Now, the Sandbuck was a lot cheaper than I remember it being, so I'm going to go over there and take a look at the brig whenever we dock, but I'm going to dock over there where the dockyard is so we can kind of look at the upgrades we can make to the cog. Yeah, every capital city will have a area where you can upgrade your ship a little bit. Some ships are more upgradable than others, and some ships look better with certain sail types than others as well. Every region also specializes in a particular type of sail. So in the Eastern region, you're going to have better square sails and trapezoid sails. In the Emerald Archipelago, you're going to have better junk sails. In the Firefish Lagoon, you will have better. Well, really, you'll just have like fin sails. I'm not huge on the fin sails personally, but some people really like them. And then obviously with Alonk in Gold Rock City, you have lateen sails. If I'm lucky, I might be able to put a small gaff sail on this thing. Might. The brig is absolutely beautiful. Magnificent looking ship. This is kind of the brig is what makes me believe this is more of a 18th century sort of era instead of some sort of medieval area or era. Plus, like the architecture, it doesn't really scream medieval to me. The cranes maybe, but that's going to be about it. Alright, let's try and reel up the sail here. Okay, whoa, okay, that was not what I was expecting to have happen. You can go there. I don't really need to tie both ropes up. Yeah, I'm gonna gore myself. Okay, let's do that. Let's get everything on land first, and then we'll start carrying everything over to the trading area. All right, there's that. And then we have the mail, which I shall deliver first. So the trade area is like right over here for this city. Always look out for these blue flags whenever you want to take a mission. The blue flags are going to be where you get trade goods and missions. Yoink. And I tell you what, let's just throw that. If you hold down the T button, you can actually throw things certain ways. Don't try throwing anything off the boat because the physics act very strange whenever you're trying to throw things off the boat. The boat kind of acts like it has an invisible wall or something. Like if you throw something, like say if I'm standing on the boat right now and I want to throw something over there, there's a very good chance that the grate will just launch itself in the exact opposite direction. I don't really understand it. All right, so what did that bring our reputation up to? 362, so I believe now we can... Yes, here we go. So this will allow me to show you what the trade is like. Right now, I don't really have the money to afford anything, but the way this works is you click on something that you want to take, and actually, you know, lamb is really good right now. Unfortunately, I can't take anything, but say if you could afford lamb, you buy it with your own money, and then you take it to whatever island you want to that's making a really good price. So the best price right now would be Siren Song. So you'd make a surplus of 200, almost 250 gold, or I keep saying gold, 250 Aestrin coins by taking this one crate of lamb to Siren Song. And that's how the trade works. Also, you can also transfer your money. Actually, out of curiosity, how much does it take to make one single... Oh my god. Right, so to make a single gold lion, you have to sacrifice 85 Aestrin crowns. That's insane. All right, so while I'm here, let's go ahead and we'll explore the market a little bit. A little bit. So you've got your vendors that have your basic fishing supplies, fishing hooks, fishing poles. You can buy a slicing knife if you need to. We can buy salt, stoves, smokers, You can buy furniture. You can even buy chairs here if you want to. You can buy the fanciest bed that you've ever seen in your life. You can buy shelving. You can buy more bread. Trout. Eel. Eel is the best thing you can catch out in the open ocean, by the way, with salmon being slightly behind it. And then I believe these are also like the third best thing you can get. But the best thing you can get while fishing out in the open ocean is going to be eel by a long way. Eel will fill you up like crazy. There's a merchant over here that just sells water, which is what I came over here for. By the way, a strategy you can do... Well, you take the stupid... There we go. One thing you can do, because barrels of water are pretty expensive, you can just start collecting bottles of water like this, and it will save you a decent amount of money. Over here we have the navigational tools. We've already explained the quadrant. This is how you monitor your ship's speed. It goes in knots, so basically it acts like the fishing pole. You right-click, and it'll throw this detachable thing out into the water, and it will monitor your speed, which is very useful. The sun compass, basically the way this works is you point directly north, and at high noon, at local noon, where the sun is pointing directly south, which it's actually not far away from now, you can use this to tell your latitude in the middle of the day, which is also extremely useful. Spy glasses, pretty self-explanatory. Let's zoom in on that ship out there. You can use the mouse wheel to scroll in and out. And then if you buy a bigger spyglass, you can zoom in quite a bit further. The best spyglass in the game is that the Sunspire. Lamp hooks, you can use these to attach your lanterns or wind chimes and stuff like that. I'll take a broom just so I can show you what it does. I'll just go and drop it here. Actually, what I'll do is I'll just go and finish up the water here, and there we go. Put the broom there. You have maps of every different region. This is how big the world is right here, but it doesn't show everything. To the southwest of the Dragon Cliffs, at latitude 28 and longitude 3, is going to be the Firefish Lagoon. I'm not going to cover the Firefish Lagoon in this tutorial series because I want you to experience the Firefish Lagoon for your first time. It offers a bunch of different challenges that other archipelagos just don't offer. The Chrono Compass, actually no, the Chrono Compass. I want to show this off, please. The Chrono Compass is by far the most useful tool in the game because it shows you your latitude and longitude at the exact same time. So you wait for high noon, and can I like get a better angle here? Yeah. So if you see the shadow on the bottom part of the Chrono Compass, you can control how it maneuvers by using the scroll wheel. And what you want to do is you want to try and get the shadows to line up just perfectly, and that will show you where you are in terms of latitude, longitude. It's not the most accurate in terms of latitude, but it's pretty good for longitude. And then, well, you also have this navigation manual, which will tell you how to use all the different tools. The chronometer is the clock that you can get in the game. The way this works is at high noon, at local noon, you can determine where you are in terms of longitude by subtracting 4 or adding 4 from the clock. So, yeah, I'll just let you... It'd be easier to read it than have me explain it. So the chronometer is a precise clock calibrated to tell the sun time at longitude 0. by comparing the clock time with your observed local time, you can determine your current longitude, east or west. The local noon, when the sun is directly south, check the clock time on your chronometer. Every 4 minutes of difference between the clock time and the local time, noon, are equal to 1 degree of longitude. So, for example, if the chronometer reads 11:56 at local noon, your longitude is 1. My brain just doesn't work this way. Math was always my worst subject in school. I struggled with math, and you have to be kind of quick with this too. Um, the clocks also run on Aestrin time, so whenever it is, if you're an Aestrin and you're using the clock will pretty much be correct at any time of the day, but it's going to be different at everything else. Okay, then we've also got other food vendors. We've got cheese, we've got some tobacco, we've got ale. And then over here we've got raw meat, which is going to be important in my upcoming mail courier playthrough. Are you just now getting the port? Jeez. Then over here we've got the inn. And over here we've got the biggest ship in the game. To a certain extent. How much does this thing cost? 110 gold. So maybe I was wrong. Maybe I thought the junk was the cheapest ship in the game. Maybe it's actually the sandbug. But yeah, the brig is not a small ship at all. Unfortunately, Raw Lion needs to kind of like widen out the floor just a little bit more and kind of widen out the hull a bit more because as she stands, she is the longest ship, but you can't put as much inside her as you can with a sandbug. This is the room that I always turn into my captain's quarters. And then up here, we have a free extra deck, which is where I pretty much always put my navigational tools. But yeah, the brig is also very customizable. I believe she is the most customizable ship in the game. So yeah, she is a very beautiful ship. Alright, let me show you what the broom does real quick, then we'll take a look at upgrading the cog. I'm not going to have the money to do anything, but I can show you what you can actually do. So let's come back over here. It also depends on if the ship is dirty enough. Basically what you can do is yeah, there we go. You can use the broom to just clean the ship. Some ships look a lot better when they're not cleaned, admittedly. like the sandbug, for example. I kind of prefer the darker look on it, but if you just kind of want something to do while you're out on the high seas, right now this doesn't matter, but I imagine sooner or later there will be like a bonus to maybe your ship's health or something by keeping the ship clean. So yeah, right now it's just a kind of fun thing you can do. It really makes no difference at all in the game right now, but it's something to do if you're bored. It looks like this doesn't get dirty. It's kind of interesting. The smaller ships are easier to clean than the bigger ships, though the sandbug is... Of all the bigger ships, I believe the sandbug is actually the easiest to clean. The brig would be the hardest, and the junk would be... The junk isn't really a slouch either. There's a lot of tight areas in the junk. Alright, well, you guys get the point with the broom. I'll just go ahead and put this here. Now. Let's take a look at upgrading the ship. So I can't afford it, but what I would recommend that you do is at bare minimum, absolute bare minimum, get a gaff sail. And you could probably go for the 8-yard gaff, or yeah, 8 yards. And it's going to be expensive, but if you can't afford it, a 6-yard gaff would not be the worst choice either. And that's a lot cheaper. It's only 290 compared to the 400 something else that it was. But yeah, that is pretty much what I would do. I would also take away the genoa or the jib, and I would add in a small genoa. The genoa is going to be a lot more useful than the jib was. And if you want to, you can also put on a small square sail if you can get one that will work. Yeah, these are really not super useful out on the high seas, but they can be useful for just kind of helping pull you out a dock or something. Alternatively, you could just get rid of the square sail, to be fair, and just go for that. Now, if you've got the money, one thing that you could do, and I need to remove the sails for this. Let's go over to the mast area. You can move the main mast forward, move the forestay up here with it, and you can give yourself a mizzenmast. And you can also give yourself either no cabin or a low cabin. There's some people that like the castle, there are other people who don't. I am one of the former. I don't really like the castle structure. I prefer this. This looks really good to me. If you want a ship that's going to just completely devastate the wind at pretty much almost any angle, what you would do, or what I would do, get yourself a small... What does the short genoa look like? Yeah. Get yourself a small genoa, and then get yourself a 8-yard gaff. I think this looks really good in yellow, me personally, but it's up to you. You can go for the classic white. White will never be a bad choice for this. And you can also put another gaff sail. Maybe go for a short gaff. No, it's not going to work. What about that? That might not be a huge issue, but honestly, in my experience, this was a very good, solid ship, but apparently it's not wanting to work because of the roof. So just go for a 6-yard gaff, and make sure the gaffs are actually fairly low down, because if gaff sails are too high up, it makes turning an absolute pain in the butt. But this build right here will just... The wind will no longer be a problem at all. It'll be expensive, but you will be flying through the water like quite easily. And if you want to, it's really not going to be needed, but if you really, really want to, you can go ahead and put a trapezoid square on and just kind of put it up as high as you can. And yeah, that'll get you places. That'll get you places in a hurry. But if you want to have sails that are of equal size, what you can go ahead and do, it doesn't really matter if you have a cabin or not. It's just aesthetics for right now. Maybe eventually there will be an effect for the weather. But what you can do is you can go ahead and put another 8-yard sail on. And with this kind of configuration, you don't even need the trapezoid sail. Like that right there, you'll be soaring through the water. Like, I did this with the cog-only challenge, and I underestimated drastically how fast this ship was. Like, whenever you've got the wind directly at your back, this ship will just It will rival an airplane almost. Uh, I'm being a bit generous with that statement right there. But yeah, this ship is going to be extremely fast, and because you only have like 3 sails on it, it's going to be extremely light, so you can carry a lot more weight on it, and it's not going to have a roof to add onto the weight either. So if you want a ship that's going to get you from point A to point B like really freaking fast, go for this build. I cannot recommend this build enough. But if you want to have a cabin, just because it makes sense for a ship to have a cabin if you're going to be crossing the ocean to get you out of the sun. Um, just double check this. No, it's not going to work. Okay, you can go for a. It's ultimately up to you. That doesn't look terrible to me. Maybe it's a bit small though. But yeah, that doesn't look terrible to me. That would still be better than. Actually, out of curiosity, hang on. Ba-dum. No, that's going to be way too big. Let's go for another gaff. Can we put 2 of these on? No, it's not gonna work. That's unfortunate, but uh, just feel free to play around with it for a while if you want. Just feel free to experiment with things. Um, it's ultimately up to you. Just go with whatever you think looks the best. Actually, wait, this might could work. Go for that, and then add another sail. That won't work. No, well, that's unfortunate. But yeah, this right here is the build that I would recommend that you go with for this particular ship. This ship is, like I said, it'll get you from point A to point B, and if you want, you can just put another square sail right up here on the bowsprit. But it really doesn't matter because you can only put really, really small square sails up on this thing anyway, so it'll be negligible, the bonus wind that you get from that thing. But yeah, that's pretty much all I can really do there. So let's just exit out. Now, well, that's not supposed to happen. I can only assume that'll come down in the event that I actually, log out of the game, but I need to do that anyway to fix the rigging here. So, fix this, just simply log out and come right back in. Okay, yes, that fixed everything right there. Very good. Very, 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 very good. Okay, so this video is going on almost 2 hours long. I did not realize that until I looked over. And I've pretty much shown you everything I can really show you with this, so there's really no point in me showing you how to, running a full circuit of this area. I kind of want you to experience the game for yourself for the first time as well. I don't want to hold your hand too much on this. So that's going to be where I wrap things up on this video, considering it's going on almost 2 hours. And I want to be considerate with your time. But if you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please leave a like. Let me know if you found this video helpful. And hopefully you did, because otherwise this was a complete waste of time. But yeah. In the next video, we'll be taking a look at the Emerald Archipelago, and I think after that, I might do a little video on how to, like, prepare for preserving food and stuff like that, because I need to kind of experiment around with that myself. But yeah, if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, leave a comment, and if you want to see more content like this, consider subscribing because I will have a lot more on the way. Like I said, I'm about to start a semi-roleplay series as a mail courier, starting in this region. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to it myself. So once again, thank you so much for watching. Until next time, guys, God bless. Take care of yourselves. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.